like I can hear music, I can hear a chord progression, I can listen to a song and tell you what the chord progression is just by listening to it. I know where they go when they go there. You know, I hear half steps.
Because you've been there, done that.
Been there, done that, right? I mean, people ask me, like, I work with guys, and that's all they want from me, is for me to figure out songs for them. They love this song, and they play, but they cannot tell you what the chord, and there's no sheet music. They tried the whole internet, no sheet music on it, and they want me to tell them what this progression is. To me, I just hear, oh, I know, there you go. I don't even have to get a piece. I get a piece of paper and just put it on. I hear the changes. That always wasn't there. I remembered when I wanted that.
Yeah.
I remember a guy at a party or festival kind of thing. He had one harmonica, and I couldn't believe I'd only been playing harmonica for 5-6 months or something. It was right then, very beginning. I didn't understand how he could tell me what every key that band was in. I didn't know. I really wanted to know that. I could not know what that's like now. You know, I can hear when they, you know, some things are very difficult before you hear it. A 2 from a 5, you know it went there and you're trying, but it's not there. Those kind of things. Theory is really good for that because I hear the song, I know what the band's doing. They just played it through one time. Here comes my solo. I know what's going on there. And that was because of the theory, I guess. Is it because of the theory? Because I know guys that don't necessarily know theory as far as telling you the thing, but it's like Hendrix or somebody. They really knew theory, but they didn't necessarily call it that.
Yeah, there's an intuitive knowledge.
Absolutely.
That players use, and whether you've thought about it and experienced it, or you've experienced it and then later thought about it, or just experienced it and experienced it and experienced it, and then here comes the song that is either the same chord progression borrowed from a given song.
And you hear it, and you know where it is on your instrument.
Because you've already
Absolutely,
experienced it, yeah. So
I guess that's the same. I don't know if that sped up from learning theory or not then.
Well,
not really.
I think you brought up the point that, you know, I had that thought because I wouldn't have had that thought for another 10 years if I didn't focus from this vantage point. And it's all about vantage point to me.
Yes, I feel like my job when I'm working with people, I think of myself kind of as a coach rather than a teacher. I think it's friendlier. But my goal, and I'm the hardest on myself. I have a purpose. I have my own inner world going on being better and growing. I want to shave off 10 years for this guy in a month. Can I do it? Can I give him the tools to do that for himself? You know, I don't know when I will ever do that, but I mean, my job. I want to get him there quick.
Yeah.
I want to, all those hours. I want to save him something. You know, I live for that. You know, and you know, I guess theory did some of that for me. Shaved off some time. Yeah, probably so.
I agree about when to teach it. That's
oh, it's a nightmare.
The toughest thing to teach is bending and theory, and the theory is the application. And I used to put a lot of emphasis on that. And now I don't touch it until we get into accompaniment playing, where I start teaching them what's the root, the third, the fifth, the flat seventh. Now they're actually responsible for they're the band. They're responsible for the chord changes if they're playing that horn part, or if they're playing you know, thirds and flat sevenths like the horns would commonly do, or the chords that organ players would pad on, the thirds and flat sevenths, and they can start experiencing what does the third sound like, why does the flat seventh sound this way, or why the root or the fifth, and why you might choose this one over this one because this one's more dissonant, or this one's prettier, or this one's just kind of a note that's already there, but at least you're adding the texture of the harmonica. But if you play
that's good. You're giving them application of it right in the mix as you're doing it.
It took me forever,
really good
forever to figure that out.
Yeah, well, and it took me a while to forget just to leave it out.
Yeah.
Because it's a big can of worms. I just say, go get a music fundamentals class. Some guys insist, and I'll go ahead and do it. But and if they want to, that's great. I mean, I have a good approach. I know what to do first and everything. I have a whole idea laid out. But now all of a sudden, we're going to take some time here now.
Yeah.
You know, I first want you to play the major scale. I want you to know tell me what the notes are. All C, no sharps and flats. Then go to G, has one sharp. Then go like that, and be able to write them out.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing right now is people would like they think they would like to know music theory, but they're not willing to put the work into it.
Well, perhaps, and I think my job is to make a decision, help them make the right decision. I think what you're running is, I know guys always want some licks, and I think it's important. I can try and give them some licks. And then also, what do you do with them? And I'll keep them off of the theory thing because I know that's not really what they're going to want to do because it's going to be a certain amount of time here. We can bypass all that by just a few little things that'll make it much more fun and get the harmonica in the mouth a lot. That's better than talking and having a board and doing too much with writing. And no, play.
Well, my experience is the same way, is that unless a student just always kind of comes in and wants me to feed them material, and that's fine. I'll bring it up when I think it's time for their playing. But otherwise, yeah, it's not until the student realizes this is something that I need to have in my playing and I'm ready to make that journey. Otherwise, like you said, that's not something you can really just give to somebody and expect them to see the value in that. You know,
they're not. We're helping them make the right decision because they're not knowing what the decision is. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think that's our job, to help them make that call. And then when they do come to a hungry place for it, they'll go and do the things to do it. And so, someone said one time, you can't answer a question that hasn't been asked. Mm-hmm. In a spiritual thing, I used to be a speaker, and I realized that, and I just stopped speaking about it because it can't, the question that's being asked, or I'm going to answer from, is not what the question is being asked anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's just going to be not understood and miscommunication. So let's just have fun and play.
I like that.
Yeah. Let's just make some music together.